Hey folks, sorry about that. I meant to reverse the camera and accidentally disconnected. So I just wanted to rejoin you, tell you we are here, still here at the Lincoln Memorial at the George Floyd Vigil. Demonstrators urging folks to remain peaceful, calling this a peaceful demonstration. We had some prayer a short time ago from a pastor, and now we have another speaker, Jeanette from New Hampshire. Thanks for joining us. Gail from South Carolina, Paulina from Ohio. All right, let's Northern California. Thanks for joining us. Let me just give you some images before we head over to do some interviews.
Ice cold water, ice cold Gatorade.
All right, needed to walk away from the steps in the memorial. Folks are trying to really listen to the speaker. I don't want to be too disruptive. But I see some of you are weighing in, and I want to have a conversation, right? Let's take this time to talk. A lot of you folks who are joining us from various parts of the country, and I appreciate it, aren't necessarily familiar with Washington, and have only seen the images that have made the national news. So certainly, we are not far away from the White House. We're here at the Lincoln Memorial. The White House is 2 blocks away, and it's a very, very different scene. We were hearing from my colleagues who were over at the White House that there was actually tear gas being deployed at 5:30, and tensions were running high. This rally seems to be far more peaceful and by intention. Folks saw what played out last night, and a lot of them weren't the original organizers from Black Lives Matter and some of the original folks who organized that protest. They had shut things down, and so this was a group of outside agitators, folks who were trying to muddy the message, who were exploiting the people ultimately feeling and taking advantage of that time to loot and destroy our city. I feel, someone had asked if I feel safe here, and I do. You know, I did come here with some trepidation, as I think everyone did, all reporters did, knowing that you never quite know what to expect. You're prepared for everything. I have my gloves. We have some milk of magnesia to douse in our eyes if we were to get pepper sprayed. I have some safety goggles that I brought with me, and I have prayer. But I ultimately have a job to do, and it's important for me to be here and to share with all of you what's happening, and to show you the pictures and the images that we're seeing. And from where I am, things are quite peaceful, and I think folks want it to remain that way. You know, we talked to someone earlier today who was from a healing circle. So around 3 o'clock, and they're going to meet here at the Lincoln Memorial every Sunday at 3 o'clock. And they're going to have a healing circle. And basically it was folks sitting on yoga mats, praying, talking. Some were silent. But it was just a place for them to decompress, process everything that they've seen, and start a new week with intention and with purpose. Now, the mayor does say that there is a likelihood that folks will have to get tested for COVID-19. Let's not forget we're in a pandemic, and that's why I'm wearing my mask and trying to take as much precaution. To be honest, this is the most folks that I've been around since this started. So we all have to be careful and know that we are still in a pandemic. DC just entered phase 1 of reopening, and the mayor already knew as we begin this new phase of reopening our city and we slowly try to get back some of our amenities and resources in the city, that likelihood the rate of infection will go up. So she's increased testing. So certainly those protesters here, if you need a test, please go get a test, because I am seeing a lot of folks who do not have masks. Folks who are protesting and folks who are not protesting, folks just aren't wearing masks. And I think it's the most responsible thing to do when you are in a crowded group like this. So Deanna is joining us from Willis Point, Texas. And thank you for your words. And, Betty says as long as it's peaceful, I have no problem. Everyone has a right to protest, and that's certainly what the mayor said as well. The mayor says she doesn't want to shut this down, she wants everyone to exercise their right to protest, but she also says they don't have a right to destroy their city and to destroy our city. All right, let's, I just wanted to take a moment to look at a few comments. Kat Hughes, you love the idea of the healing circle. Yes, the healing circle. You'll learn more about it at 11 o'clock. We did some interviews with the women, but it started super organically. It's just a group of women who knew each other and wanted to pray. She's like, that's what I've always done. That's what I've always known and always learned to do was pray when in times of need. And so she said right at the front of the on the lawn outside of the Lincoln Memorial every Sunday at 3 o'clock, healing circle. They will be here. Stephen Socrates asks if this is the same crowd at night. No, absolutely not. I don't believe this is the same crowd at night. I think what we're seeing at night are some folks who are coming out specifically. All right, I'm back. I got a call. Sorry. It is a different crowd. This is a different crowd. And I can't account for where all those people came from and who they are. I know one person who was arrested hails from Virginia, I can't remember, Centerville, I think, Virginia. Let's talk to a few folks. Why don't we? Oh, you were there last night, Carmen? I'm glad you were staying safe. Hey, folks. Hi, I'm Delia from Channel 9. I'm doing a Facebook Live. Could I just chat with you about why you're here? No? Okay. All right. All right, let's move on. See if we can talk to some folks. Hi, sir. Good. I'm Delia from Channel 9. I'm live on Facebook. I just want to know if I can ask you a few questions about why you're here today. What brought you out here?
My wife and my kids, and the fact that I'm father of 2 African-American children.
Have you, and I know they're awfully young, I have kids myself, and the 5 and 7-year-old were playing today, but I sat down with a 10-year-old and we spoke. How do you plan on talking to your children, or have you, and what do you say?
I don't know, we have a little bit, but not much. So a little early for that, but just letting them know that things are different for people based on so many different things. And the color of the skin is a big one.
What do you think about today's movement in comparison to maybe some of the images you probably woke up to with some of the looting and the violence?
Well, this is what everybody wants to see, is people coming together for a common good. And focusing on doing something positive for the world versus destroying out of frustration.
What's your name, sir? I appreciate it, Jim. And where do you live, Jim?
Capitol Hill.
Okay, thank you so much. And how old your children are?
Almost 4 and 7.
4 and 7. And this is your wife? Hi, Mom. Can I talk to you about why it was important to bring the little kids out?
We would come to the anniversary march on Washington. I danced in the reflecting pool at the age of 5 and protest, so I really wanted my kids to understand the same thing that I grew up with. Is that they need to speak up, and there is stuff that they can do, and they can be proactive, and they can get involved, they can use their voice to prevent this stuff happening in the future.
How do you begin to talk to your son?
And he's really young, he doesn't really get it yet. It's scary.
How did you feel waking up this morning?
It was really upsetting. It's really hard. But we get through it. We come out here and we touch other people, and I love being around other people who are kind of working towards the same thing. So,
It's part of processing all of this pain that we have been holding on to for a while.
I can show them that they were here when they get a little bit older, have more conversations about, what's going on, what to be prepared for, and it's definitely a struggle, but we're fortunate to have, we have decent police officers in our immediate family, so their cousins are, protect and serve, and so they know that it's, that not all police are bad, but they also need to be prepared. Not all police are like their cousin. So
I think this is a good moment of kind of reflection and peace and prayer and just perspective to kind of take you in, to shake off whatever we were feeling and to move into the week, because we have a long week ahead, several weeks ahead,
It's a really weird, because they just finished school on Friday, so this is a really weird transition into the summer.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity. Like, I didn't worry about coming here because I know they don't have school tomorrow. Like, you know, we really are trying this festival, and I have a lot, since they're not going to camp, I have a lot more time to engage directly with my kids. And I feel like it's important to use these opportunities when they come. So I'm glad we made it out here.
Thank you. What's your name?
Laura.
Laura?
No.
And last name again?
None.
N-O-N-E?
N-U-N-N.
Oh, I'm like none? Like absolutely none? Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
Sorry I got all...
No, someone did that to me. You know, I got here, and we're still live on Facebook, but I got here, you know, I'm a mother, I have 3 children, and had to process everything before coming, knowing that I have a job to do. My children, my family dropped me off, and I said, I'll see you at some point, maybe tomorrow morning. But you have to build a shield of sorts, because I know I have a job to do, right? No one wants to see me losing it on TV. And then someone just asked how I was feeling about it. And then it just took me out for a moment. But I think we're all human. We all have to process this ourselves. And I think the more open we are with each other about our hurt and our pain and our frustration,
it's also, especially with my daughter, because race-wise, she looks at her skin and doesn't see the difference between her skin and other people's skin, and doesn't really get it yet. And when we talk about race, mommy's family and daddy's family, it's not like I'm this color, and that color over there,
right.
How is that different? So we're still in that process.
It's a constant conversation, and you answer as much as they ask, and then they go off and play. You know, and it's like it's all good. Children have a way of bringing joy to a very complicated situation. So take heart in that.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. All right, so now they're placing flowers at I guess you can call it a makeshift memorial. And let's take a look. I'm gonna come around.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. That's right. Thank you. Now, I'm gonna ask you all for a favor. Look around. Look at each other. See each other. I want you all to know that we are family. I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're blue, you're yellow, you're green. We're family here. I love you all. You all are my brothers. You all are my sisters. I know this time is so hard for each one of us, but I love you all. That's all. Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Phenomenal. Okay, at this time, everyone, I want to encourage you to go to either pedestal. There are candles. There are electric candles. They cannot catch on fire.
Can I ask? Hi, ma'am. I'm Delia from Channel 9. I'm live on Facebook. I wonder if I can just ask you why you came out
Lay
today.
here on the steps in honor of George Floyd. If you want to lay down your sign, if you want to lay down your bear, if you want to lay down your photograph.
have lost people from our community.
And thank you all for coming out tonight, and God bless
And I
you.
want to honor those mothers and those families for being here. My children are fine. However, I
you all to go and vote this November.
because of this. And it needs to change. And I know it can change. And I believe in God. And I believe in people being moved by this situation. And want to help all of us change this.
Just like
Do
we
you
want our good cops
believe,
to have to back
because
up
this
on
has a
the
very
side
different
of the
tone
doing that,
than what we saw overnight, and literally than what's happening a few blocks away at the White House. So do you think this is here an example or the beginning of hopefully more peaceful protests? Because the protests turned, because of some outside influences, turned violent last night and ugly. And I think this was very, very different. So do you think that, you know, hopefully we're turning a point, turning a corner? Or what would your recommendation be for anyone who continues to protest moving forward?
Yes, I do think it's winning, and I do think, because I am a clinical social worker, so I understand the expression of pain sometimes can be scary for other people who have not experienced the same amount of pain. However, I do think, you know, city officials need to reach out toward the pain and not get so caught in
Right.
the actions as leaders, because it's really pain. I think if you just remind somebody that I see you, I hear you, I know this is scary, I know you have every reason to be angry, but I'm here today to say you will see change. Just believe in the prayers that your mothers put forward, believe in the church that you may have come from, believe in the people that are around you who care about you, and just trust that we hear you, we see you, and change is going to come. But please do not feel like you're alone and you have to be destructive in order to be heard, because you don't. We will, we promise, make change for you. So it is the beginning.
Even if it takes some time.
Even if it takes time. And I do think if the right message is out quick enough, you know, and I'm not leaving it up to Mr. Biden, I'm not leaving it up to, you know, one or two curses. It comes from the home, it comes from your friends, it comes from people who know you and know you to be a good person. There's going to be a lot of collective voice to say, I hear you and I see you. Because if you feel like you're being ostracized and excluded, which I do have a son, and I do understand what he says to me, although my son does not have the same experience as a lot of kids who are in desperate situations, but he says the same thing as they do. So because he has parents who are
Minneapolis, get your voice
in
heard.
response to that, we're able to manage whatever he's rising in. But for those who don't have that same support, there's still somebody out there that wants you to have your vision, that wants to see your desires manifest, and that believes in you. But just trust that the beginning is here. It's going to continually take place. There are a lot of grassroots organizations that are really out there fighting for you.
And I want you all to
So,
sit there and tell me black is beautiful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well said. What's your name, ma'am?
Jackie Horton.
Jackie Horton. Thank you so much. I know, it's so
Jackie Horton.
wonderful. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh, no problem. And they will say thank you as well, the folks who are watching on Facebook. Take care. All right. All right. So let's go around one last time to see. Oh, I'm sorry. Hello? All right, folks, that about wraps it up for my two-part live. Thanks for joining us. I know the mask doesn't make it always easy. I know some folks had said they were having trouble hearing us. It is awfully loud here. So I do want to thank all of you for joining us. And this has been a good hour and a half of the vigil for George Floyd here at the Lincoln Memorial. Yes, Channel 9 and myself, we will continue to stay here on the streets of DC to continue bringing you a live look at the action here and the continued demonstrations and we hope peaceful protests for George Floyd and for so many other Black young lives that have been lost. Thank you so much for joining us, and remember to stay tuned to WSA 9. Stay here. We will have updates on this Facebook page, and of course we'll have a broadcast at 11 o'clock this evening. Take care, be safe, and we will talk to you soon.